Okay, so the speaker should be here soon. Her office closes like right at 7, so I'm thinking she'll be here within the next probably 5 to 10 minutes. So I'm gonna go ahead and get started through all of the like SHAMOS stuff. And then probably by the time I'm done, she'll be in here and then we'll be good to go. Let me share my screen. Okay, so as usual, thank you guys for coming to the meeting. I know it's an hour later than normal, so for those of you that showed up, thank you. It means a lot. This meeting will count towards your co-curricular transcript, so definitely make sure you say hi in the chat box if you haven't done so already. And then some reminders. So also today is also the last day to earn hours through donations. So if you want to donate to the Alzheimer's Association or MedLife, it's $5 for every hour. So if you are looking to get those last minute hours, that's how you can do it. And then you do have to send proof to me by 9 p.m. in order for it to count. And then just adding on to that, so by December 1st, all of your hours and everything should be completely uploaded onto OrgLink, and it should be completely like approved and everything. So whenever you go to OrgLink, if you want to request your co-curricular transcript, everything should be there. If there's any problems on there, like if you see that you're missing some hours or you think that you're missing hours, feel free to reach out and then we'll look into it. And then also December 3rd is going to be the very last day to pick up the fall semester shirt. So don't forget to contact me if you haven't picked up your shirt yet. Most of my classes are online, so I'm pretty flexible for the most part. I would say Wednesday is probably the best day for me because I don't really have to do anything. So if that's something that you want to do, Wednesdays I'm always free. Whoops. Okay, so just some, my gosh, I can't talk. So just some reminders for the minimum requirements of being a full-time member, and then also a little bitty update. So you have to earn a minimum of 10 hours and you have to have already paid your dues and paid them on time and everything. And then everything earned after 10 hours that are SHAMOS hours, so not the outside hours, but the SHAMOS hours specifically, those will roll over to the spring semester of 2021. So if you want to be a member for next semester and you already have your minimum of 10 hours, then all you have to do is pay your dues and then you're good. And then also something else that we're doing. So because this semester was really hard on you guys, we are going to omit the blood drive requirement. So if you earned hours through blood drives, they're going to count just like normal. But we did notice that it was really hard for a lot of you guys to actually get that hour because a lot of you kept repeatedly being like exposed and you kept repeatedly having to quarantine. So, you know, if you do that so many times, then you miss all the blood drives, then you obviously can't get your hour. So we're going to be a little bit flexible and we're just going to go ahead and admit that for both this semester and next semester as well. So all of your hours are still going to count, but we're not making it a requirement for you to have one to be a full-time member. So if you have your 10 hours and you paid your dues, then you're good. And you're a full-time member. Congratulations. Okay. And then these scholarship winners, congratulations. So we have Kelby Bean for 88 hours. And then second place is Isabel for 70 hours. So we will reach out to you guys about getting your scholarship award of $100. Congratulations. You guys did awesome. That's freaking incredible. And then, so I just want to say thank you guys to literally all of you because we got over 1,000 collective hours and that's never been done in SHAMOS before. So you guys did awesome. That's incredible. Like, I can't thank you guys enough. That's going to look really, really good for us. So thank you guys again. And then as usual, if you have any questions or concerns, you can always email any of us. If you have a specific question regarding like dues or anything like that, just reach out to whoever you would need to talk to. And then do you guys have any questions at all related to SHAMOS? Okay, I don't see anything in the chat, so I think I guess everyone's good. So there's that. Okay, so today we have a speaker from First Response Family Clinic. Her name is Desi Bittner. She is a FNP, and she's our last speaker for the semester. Like I said, her clinic closes right at 7, so she might be a little bit behind. Let me see. Let me just double check, see if she made it in or not. Okay, so she is not here yet. So whenever she pops in, we're just gonna go ahead and let her start. But if you guys have any questions in the meantime, just pop in. Hopefully she's able to join. I know sometimes Zoom is really funky. But yeah, I guess now we just get to wait and see if the speaker is able to join. So we'll just chill. And then if the speaker doesn't join by around 7:20, then everyone who attended, if you choose that you want to leave, we will still record the meeting if she happens to show up, and we'll still ask her questions and run it as if you guys are here. But hypothetically, if she doesn't make it by 7:20, then you guys are free to go if you want to, and then you'll still get credit for the meeting.
Wait, so did you say it for next semester too? There's not going to be the blood drive requirement?
Yeah, correct. Because we're still going to be completely online next semester, so we're hoping that kind of sort of helps you guys out. Because we don't think that it's going to be a better situation next semester. We still think that you're going to have a harder time getting the hours, like especially at hospitals or anything like that. So hopefully that kind of helps out a little bit.
Okay, yeah, because I noticed like cases have like doubled in Walker County in the past like week.
Oh yeah. Yeah, I'm following cases in Montgomery County too because my parents live there, and I'm just like, this is not good.
See, my family is all in Houston and Harris County, and they're under like red alert right now, like having to go back inside and all that kind of stuff. So
Yeah, we weren't thinking that it was going to be very much improved over the next couple of months. So we were just like, okay, we're just going to err on the side of caution and assume that everyone is still going to be in a really rough patch and it's still going to be really hard for you guys. So hopefully that makes it easier, especially since, like, I don't know about you guys, but I was exposed at least a good like 3 times, and even though I had antibodies, I was still required to quarantine. Oh, and then another thing that I'm gonna do is I'm gonna send out an email probably today or tomorrow. It's gonna have an end of the semester survey, so it'll just ask like, okay, what'd you guys think about SHAMOS? How'd it go for y'all? Did everything go good? And then also it's gonna ask about what speakers you would like to see next semester so that we can schedule them in December. And then we have everything planned out and we'll be able to send it to you guys as soon as possible. And then also in that email, I'm going to add basically a giant spreadsheet of all of the contacts that SHAMOS has had. So if you guys need shadowing hours, you can look through that list and just pick a person. And then you can contact them and see what they'll say. Most of the time, our speakers will say yes to shadowing. It just kind of depends. But yeah, so hopefully that helps you guys out too. Okay, I saw that she saw my message about the password, so hopefully she'll pop in soon. Sorry guys for making y'all wait. Okay, so it is 7:20. So if you guys do have stuff that you need to do or anything like that, I know we already pushed the meeting later, but as far as I know, she isn't in here yet. So if you guys do need to go, you can. I will record the meeting. If she happens to show up late, I'll upload it like normal. And then everyone who did show up for the first 20 minutes, you guys will get credit. So we'll see if she shows up. And then I personally will be in here until 8 p.m. So if any of you guys want to come back in and if you have questions or anything like that, you can just hop back in and I'll approve you to come back in. And then, like I said, if she shows up late, I'll just record it. And then we have our own set of questions that I'll ask her and then kind of sort of run it. So, yeah, if you guys have something to do, feel free to leave. If not, you're welcome to chill in here until 8 and ask me questions or ask any of the officers questions, whatever. Just out of curiosity, is anyone in here taking OChem 2 with Hobbs next semester?
I had him last semester.
Does he give you back the test?
Yeah,
He does.
or he did.
Yeah. Because I'm probably gonna have to take him next semester.
Enjoy. He's fun.
I really liked him when I had him for OChem 1 in the summer. I just couldn't pass it. Like, it was just way too much for the summer. Okay, so it's 7:30. I feel bad to let you guys go, but like I said, I'll stay until 8. So if she shows up, I'll run it myself, just like a regular meeting, and I'll record it for you guys. But if you guys don't want to stay, don't don't feel obligated to stay. I'm thinking she might have just got caught up possibly with a patient or something. Um, but yeah, so if you guys want to chill, you can. If you have any questions about college or the meaning of life, you know, we can talk. But otherwise, I hope you guys have a good night. This was our last meeting, so hopefully we'll see you guys next semester. Okay, so for those of you that are still here, she did just message me back. She's been trying to log in and she's having trouble, so I'm gonna send her another link and see if it works. So bear with me for a couple of seconds. Okay, I just sent her another link. So if it doesn't work, what I'll probably do is I'll schedule something with her like personally, and then I can record it through my Zoom, and then I'll upload it to YouTube and then share it with you guys. But as far as I know, she is trying to get in. Okay, she's trying to join. I see her little person loading. Did she make it? Yay, she made it! Oh, you're muted.
There we go. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, I'm so glad you made
Oh,
it.
finally. On my calendar, it had 7:30. And then when I looked at the invite, it's like, oh, I'm down 30 minutes, but I'm here anyway.
You're perfectly fine. And then it's a virtual meeting. So what I do is I just record it. And then if we go over, we go over.
Perfect.
It's totally fine. Okay, cool. Well, yay, I'm glad you were able to get in.
Thank you. Thank you for the invite.
Okay, so we have some questions. Okay, so first, just tell us about yourself and your clinic a little bit.
Sure. So I'm Desi Bittner. I am a nurse practitioner, owner of First Response Family Clinic. I started my career in healthcare over 30 years ago, back in 1989. As a matter of fact, next month, we'll make it 30 years. I started as a first responder, became a paramedic, and then I transitioned to work with the local fire department in the Woodlands. After which I married my husband. He was one of the chiefs. And I suffered a stroke. I suffered a hemorrhagic stroke that landed me in ICU. And at the time, I was all pre-hospital. All my role was as a fireman or firefighter, as well as a paramedic. When I suffered my stroke, I received some pretty incredible care. I ended up in ICU for about a month, and it really wasn't my event as much as it was my husband's, because I have no real recollection of the event, short of what my husband would tell me. And the care that he got, more so, was so touching to me that I decided to pay it forward and become a nurse, and hence launch the beginning of a new chapter in my life. I became a nurse. I worked in the ER. Obviously, all I knew was emergency care, and I spent some time in ICU, PACU, and the press ganey and the way that organized healthcare was geared was really disheartening to me, being that I went to school, I got an education to take care of people, yet the reimbursement from insurance company was really the leading, they were the leading way of healthcare. And it really frustrated me. I would oftentimes go into see our patients in the emergency room with the doctor, and the patients would dictate the care. They would say, if they would have an abdominal pain, they would tell the doctor, well, I'm not drinking contrast, and I don't want morphine, I want Dilaudid, and this is how I want my care. And the doctors would oblige. And it would just really sadden me, because that's not why we go into healthcare. So I decided to become a nurse practitioner and try to make a difference. We became empty nesters, and part of Maslow's hierarchy. Now what? I'm done raising children. I'm done with my career, and now it's time to give back. And so my husband and I poured all of our savings into this clinic. We opened it up, and it is a low-cost cash clinic, really serving the community of Conroe. Our target is the uninsured, but our costs are so low and so affordable that even insured patients come to see us, because an office visit is as simple as $45. People come in, there's no appointment needed. We see them. It is nurse practitioner run. Obviously, I have a doctor that collaborates with me, that's overseer. And we treat the community. Very, very affordable. We don't do narcotics. We don't do benzos. We don't do opiates. It's strictly good old-fashioned medicine. So that's kind of all of it in a nutshell. Opened up the clinic September 11th. My husband is also a fireman, so first response was very appropriate, as was the timing of when we opened up the clinic. We we've made it a year. COVID has just been absolutely crazy. But here we are, into our second year of business and trying to make a difference, not only in our community, but, in the world that we live in.
That's awesome. So, coming from like kind of sort of like an administrative perspective, how did you go about like actually opening up the clinic? Like, what requirements did you have to meet to open up a clinic?
Really a lot of craziness, patience, and believe in God. It was really, I knew I wanted to open up a clinic when I was in grad school. One of my projects was, or several of my classes was to plan out opening up a business. And little did I know how that was really the foundation of what my life was going to be like in 2 years from grad school. So I already had a business plan made out because that was one of my classes. I already had the foundation of the business that my real life business required because grad school prepared me for it. When I became a nurse practitioner, I got a job that paid very, very well, and they required me to do a 1099. I really didn't know what that was, and I wanted a W-2 instead. But she goes, the owner of the doctor group said, no, get a 1099, get your LLC, and then that'll help you with taxes. Again, I really didn't know what all of that meant because really at heart, I was just a nurse. But again, little did I know that God was kind of laying the foundation for my future. And then when I would get chastised for not coding a patient correctly for reimbursement, it was really the straw that broke the camel's back. And so I went to the bank. My husband knew I had it. And so he goes, come on, it's now or never. Let's take the leap and let's see what happens. Went to the bank and presented them with all the documentation, that LLC and my business plan that I had in grad school. As rough as it was enough to win them over, and they gave me a loan to open up the clinic. And my husband and I have been, well established here in the community. So we knew different people. We opened, we went and saw a facility that met our needs, and we knew a broker, and we just knew people that helped us establish and set the clinic up. So truly, it was my grad school that helped lay the foundation.
And then you said you went to school at Sam Houston, right?
I did.
You did? Did you go for your undergrad too?
My undergrad, I have a total of 5 degrees. My first degree was in paramedicine. And I did that really as a young single individual. My bachelor's at Sam Houston was in communication and in psychology. And I love that degree because I did that as a grown adult, raising children, working full time, doing the PTA. It was extremely challenging, but that's the degree that I treasure the most because it was the hardest to obtain. My youngest daughter is now a Bearcat, and so it just really warms my heart that we're all little bears.
Yeah, that's awesome. I saw that she got accepted, and I was like, oh my gosh, yay!
Yeah.
Okay. So, oh no, I lost my questions. Where'd they go? Okay. So one of the other questions we have are, what are your career mistakes and accomplishment that have given you the biggest lessons?
The first year of business, you don't know what you don't know. I don't know how to say it any clearer than that. Tons and tons and tons and tons of mistakes, a lot of mistakes. But I welcome them and I embrace them because I have learned from them, and I wouldn't have known where to go if it wasn't for the mistakes, both financially, You know, and oh my gosh, it's been a great year of mistakes. I've had different colleagues try to open up businesses and they've asked me the same thing. And it's so difficult to tell them, watch out for this or watch out for that, because a lot of people really aren't really there to cheer you on. They're on the sidelines, kind of skeptical and, I don't know, waiting for you to maybe fail or succeed. It's been kind of odd. So my husband and I have spent many number of nights on our knees, just asking God for wisdom, and just different people have come across our path to help us in the mistakes that we come across, and we learn from them and we overcome them, and we just refine our mission, which is really to take care of the community. So it's all been, mistakes that have turned into successes.
And then kind of sort of tailing off of that. So what would you say would probably be your biggest regret? And then also what's your biggest accomplishment?
Wow. It's been interesting. If COVID really didn't happen, I don't know if I would have taken the leap. It was a very chancy move because we're at retirement age, yet we poured our entire savings into a dream that happened. So now looking back on it, yeah, I'm happy we did it. I'm able to provide services to a community that COVID brought. Because COVID brought a lot of layoffs, a lot of anxiety, a lot of negative. People discovered us because of the fact that we test for COVID very quickly. In the peak of COVID, in a little clinic in Conroe, we were testing over 300 to 350 patients a day, and our name was out there. And so people now know us, and in turn, we are giving back to the community. We've donated a car to God's Garage. We donate a lot of our, 10% of our profits to post-traumatic stress disorder groups, militaries, first responders, just the trauma that life brings after a career of servitude. We feel that we need to give back. So with that part, I have no regrets because I know we are making a difference in lives. We're able to better life for single moms or military, as well as provide health care, to people that need it, anxiety medications to a crazy world that we're living in right now. So looking back, yeah, I'm glad I did it, but wow, it's been a journey.
Yeah, that's impressive. You said over 300 people a day?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so
Yes,
just to put
ma'am.
that in perspective for you guys that are in the meeting, Huntsville Memorial Hospital tests about 100 people a day. So
Wow.
that's like 300 is a crazy amount of people. So that is like impressive. How did you like manage that from like in combination with all of your general practitioner stuff?
Well, I had diarrhea for about 3 months. It was extremely stressful. But it was nice to see my colleagues, everybody pulled together. We started out early in the day. We would get to the clinic about 6:30. Obviously, we provide breakfast. We would work all the way through. We provide lunch, and we would just tag team. We were one of the few clinics in Montgomery County that started testing. And so people were coming as far from Louisiana, from Mississippi, to get tested. We landed a number of companies to test their employees. It was just crazy. It was crazy. But we did it. And then at the end of the day, 6:30, 7 o'clock at night, it was exhausting. But we all felt that there was a lot of camaraderie, unity. we just all worked together to help the society that was still trying to figure it out as much as we were. Everything was changing, and we were truly in it together, not only as practitioners, but also as a community.
Yeah, that's awesome. And then kind of sort of going backwards a little bit. So in regards to the structure of your clinics, so do you guys do like I don't want to say a membership, but is it kind of sort of like a membership where you pay monthly and then you can come in and get tests done?
Yeah, yes and no. We have an office visit is just $45, and then everything else is pretty much a la carte. So let's say somebody comes in and they're really anxious, and then we'll have them fill out a form to measure the level of their anxiety. We'll give them a medication for anxiety, and we'll have them come back, say in a month, to see the efficacy of the drug, to see if it's working, so forth and so on. And it's $45 after that. Say somebody is a diabetic and they need lab work or their cholesterol. The most they're going to pay is $120, and that includes lab work, really for 6 months or for a year. Very, very reasonable. And then for like a family of 4, I think it's $800 per person, or $2,000 for a family of 4, and they really get to see me for the whole year for free. That includes lab work. If they need, I get a lot of students from Sam Houston, believe it or not, and then they will telemedicine me, and they'll say, "Hey, I don't feel good. I think I have strep. Can you call me in an antibiotic?" Absolutely, that's already included because they purchased a concierge plan, at $800. Which is super, super, super cheap. It's tailored really kind of by age group. So for the younger, like 50 and under, I'll include like an STD panel for their baseline and blood work for their baseline, just to make sure that they're healthy, preventative, vaccines. And, it's just kind of tailored. We just do a whole bunch in the clinic that's very, very reasonably priced. And we also do offer the concierge plans.
Yeah, that's really cool. For like comparison, I think that Sam Houston medical insurance, I think, is $3,000 either every semester or each year. I can't remember. If someone knows, please tell me. But just like in comparison, that is roughly how much it would cost. So kind of sort of going back. So, okay.
Wow.
So how was your undergrad experience versus your graduate experience?
Oh my gosh. Grad was so much more expensive, so much more taxing. Undergrad was very manageable, very, very manageable. It was expensive, but manageable. My grad was just ridiculous because it was so expensive, and it was coming out of my money, and I was working full time. It was just extremely, extremely difficult. Very, very disciplined. You can't work full time and go to grad school. So there's that balancing act of how do you manage work with school and meet the bills. It was very, very challenging. If my daughter, she's going to a nursing school at Sam, and I told her, go all the way through. Do not stop. Do not collect $200. Just go all the way through, because when you have that momentum going, that's all is studying, and just go. I finished my education in my late 40s, which was very, very difficult. So keep going.
And then that would probably go into the next question that I have, which is, what advice would you give someone who's wanting to follow your path of becoming either a business owner or a family nurse practitioner?
You have to be tenacious, extremely patient, kind, and not greedy. Let me tell you, I I've been in the greedy side, and as much as I pray for success, I pray that I will never get blinded by the financial blessings of being an independent business owner can bring. I know that greed can be, it can be that carrot dangling in front of you because of the success that a business can bring. And I think that's why my husband and I are determined to be community involved and to constantly give back. We've got to remain humble, and we've got to remain community members in giving back. And I think the more we give back, the more success the clinic or any kind of business will become.
Awesome. And then I know you kind of sort of touched on it, but what motivates you to do what you do now the most?
Wow. I was born and raised in Mexico. English is my second language. So I grew up in a third world nation. I know what it's like to beg for food. My mom was a single mom. I grew up on food stamps, or my mom did. So I know the challenges of life. And God has blessed me with multiple degrees, with a great education, with a wonderful husband, with great children, with a great life. And so why would I not want to give back? Hi, baby. There's my grandbaby.
Oh my gosh, is Danielle there too?
She is.
Hi,
Hey,
Danielle.
look. Hi.
Hello.
How are you?
Sorry, Daisy kind of interrupted that.
You're
Just common.
Oh my gosh, that's so crazy. So for those of you that don't know, I've known Danielle for a good 5 years now. She went to high school with me. We were in clinical rotations together. So that's our connection here. Wow, it's been so long. That's awesome.
Daisy had to come in and say hi really quick, make her appearance known.
I am mind blown right now. Okay, so kind of sort of going back. So your earlier career choices, what did you initially plan on doing before healthcare? Or did you even think of anything else other than healthcare?
Oh my gosh, yes. As a matter of fact, I've always loved science. I thrive on science. When I was in high school, I was chosen to work with Sally Ride. For those of you who kind of may or may not know, Sally Ride was an astronaut that ended up passing away in the Challenger explosion. And so prior to that, I was going to be an astronaut. I wanted to be an astronaut growing up. And so I was chosen to do a mentorship with NASA. And then the Challenger blew up. And then obviously, that mentorship got scratched. And so I kind of didn't know what to do. I knew science, but I just didn't know what to do. And then I had an event that and when I was 18, ambulance was called, and I was just enthralled by the care that I received. I was having a headache and issues, so forth and so on. And I'm like, oh, maybe this is where I want to go. So I think everything is kind of predestined, to your future. And so yeah, science has always been in my heart.
And then I don't know if you know much about this, but hypothetically, if you could, since you did just mention that you thought about being an astronaut for a while, if you could go back in time and possibly do astronaut medicine, would you?
No, because I suck at math. I'm horrible at math. I just want to sit on the stars and look at a scope and just wonder at the stars and the moon. But yeah, no, I love medicine. Love medicine. I love the body.
I feel that on a spiritual level. I'm terrible at math. I have to take calculus next semester, and I'm just completely terrified. So I completely understand. So that's pretty much all of the questions that I can think of that I have. Does anybody else have any?
I don't have a question, but I just wanted to say I really appreciate all your hard work. Because my aunt, she's actually a nurse practitioner, and she just opened up her own clinic back in September. And so it's not nearly as big as yours just because she's getting started, but she kind of had the same reasons on why she started one, and just like helping people who don't have insurance. And I know how much she stresses and how hard she works. So like, I'm really appreciative of that. And all your hard work is really appreciated.
Thank you. Is her name Eve?
No, it's not.
Is your aunt named Eve? Oh.
No, ma'am. She has a
thank
clinic
you.
in the
Thank you so
Dallas
much. I
area.
appreciate it. Ah, got it. Yep, that's the going trend. So y'all stay put, and y'all are following us.
Okay, does anyone have any questions? Okay, I guess no one has any questions. Let me think. I think, so I know you mentioned like to just kind of sort of like keep going. So would you recommend that for us that are kind of sort of like right now we're struggling when it comes to COVID, like, our GPA is not as great as it could be, or at least for some of us, is not as great as it could be because classes are just harder online. The professors are being a little bit harder, giving us more work.
Sure.
So would you recommend possibly getting like a graduate degree on top of our bachelor's if we planned on being some type of other medical professional? Like, would you recommend possibly like a health administration graduate degree or anything like that?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah, do not stop, and just keep going. It's very, very, very difficult, to continue and resume after you've taken the break. Life's going to happen. You're going to get married. You're going to have babies. You're going to get a better job. That job's going to lead to promotions. You're going to be involved in committees, leading different kind of organizations. And then it's always, oh, I need to go back to school. Oh, I need to go back to school. Don't wait for that. You have the momentum. Finish it now. And then even if it's hard, life is hard. It's part of the obstacles. Just continue pushing through, and then just continue keeping your eye focused up ahead. And then before you know it, you'll be done.
Awesome. And then I see in the chat, Justina might have a question.
Good
Okay.
evening, ma'am.
Hi.
I have a question. She just mentioned something about healthcare administration, and actually I happen to be studying healthcare administration right now, the bachelor's though. I'm curious 'cause I've always been looking into jobs like relating to healthcare administration, and unfortunately, most of the time they require like you to be a registered nurse prior to. I was just trying to ask like, what type of experience you think is going to be great to have like whilst in school that can land you positions, that can land you a job in like healthcare administration positions with just a bachelor's before moving up the ladder towards getting a graduate degree or something without being a registered nurse prior, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Being a registered nurse brings a lot of experience and validity, because you're at bedside, you've taken care of people, you understand the role that you're trying to get into. As a patient, I can relate to people because I've been on the receiving end. As a healthcare provider, I've been on that side because I know the frustration that being a bedside nurse can bring. So that leads me to be able to speak with experience and credibility, because I can say, yes, I've been both. So I think it's a valuable role to be a nurse because of the experience you'll gain from that. That doesn't mean it makes you less. It just brings more experience to the role that you're trying to attain. I know of a young girl who went from high school, finished her bachelor's in about 3 years, got her nurse practitioner in 2. She was about 25 as a nurse practitioner, making $125,000. She had no bedside experience whatsoever, but she was 25 with a master's and making $125,000. So I'm thinking, who was the silly one here?
And then kind of sort of like adding on to that. So do you know of any like internships or anything that someone with a health admin degree that would benefit them and also kind of sort of give them that patient care experience?
I don't. I know that a lot of things right now are changing because of COVID. You know, a lot of clinical sites, they're reducing them. So I think maybe next year, different stuff is going to be set up differently. You know, clinical sites as well as internships, externships, you know, they're going to be set up differently. I'm just kind of waiting for this wave to finish.
Yeah. hopefully it goes smoothly next year. Hopefully. Because I know a lot of them are struggling to find like internships and places to volunteer at and all kinds of stuff. Okay, well, does anyone have any other questions? Okay, I have one more. So how do you go about your hiring process? Like, what do you look for in an employee to work at your clinic?
Because I'm bilingual, that's kind of at the top. My, you know, I'm in the heart of Conroe. My target is to be able to reach everybody and a lot of uninsured. And the demographics in the heart of Conroe, a lot of them are Hispanics. And so, you know, I like to be able to be there for them. You know, I need somebody to answer the phone that's bilingual, tend to people, comfort them, understand the culture, understand the background, just to be able to relate to them and help them. Obviously, we see a lot of everything. You know, I've had to call the ambulance on several of my patients because they've been that sick. So I need also somebody that knows how to remain calm in a very stressful situation that can mean a person's life could be in jeopardy. How to work quickly, teamwork, experience, willingness to learn. You know, have that teamwork attitude really is key. You know, working in different roles. One day you might be in the front, the other day you might be in the back, drawing IVs, you know, drawing blood, helping me. You know, just to be all well-rounded and willing to do that. So, you know, right now we have a really good team.
Cool. I was just curious in case anybody here is curious for future reference.
Sure.
Okay, cool. Well, I can't think of any more questions that I have. So if anybody has any other questions, feel free to ask. If not, we're just gonna call it a day.
Thank you. And you have my email.
Oh, I have a question.
Go ahead.
With the PA route and then the nurse practitioner, right? Like I've seen a lot of what do I say? I've seen like a lot of positions whereby they require like NPs and PAs for that exact position. And there's like this little should I say conflict or whatever going on within the professional route whereby a lot of nurse practitioners be like I feel like a lot of nurse practitioners kind of get the job versus the PAs, and it's just like I'm sorry. It's just like some type of issue right now with the whole, especially with COVID. I'm sorry. Especially with the COVID right now, it's kind of giving the PAs lesser job opportunities because most jobs keep going for the NPs, and I don't know why. I was just trying to know if there's like a particular reason to that.
A lot
Sorry
of
for
it's
rambling a
physician
lot.
a lot of the positions are physician driven. So it just depends what the doctors want. If a doctor wants a PA, then he'll hire the PA. If a doctor wants a nurse practitioner, he'll go with that nurse practitioner.
And then
Okay.
kind of sort of tagging off of that. So when it comes to NPs and PAs, so have you ever run into a situation where you've had like PAs kind of sort of try to apply to work at your clinic and then a nurse practitioner, would you choose the nurse practitioner over the PA?
No, not really. You know, I'm a new clinic, and so right now it's just you know, nurse practitioner. You know, I haven't encountered that yet.
Okay, cool. I'm just curious because I know whenever you get finally up to that level, PAs and NPs are kind of sort of on like the same grounds in regards to like what they do.
Sure.
So I was just kind of curious if
Sure.
you've ever had that happen.
Yeah, not yet.
Okay, cool. Interesting. All right. Well, all right. Does anyone else have any questions?
All right. Well, good luck to all of you. Continued studying, continued success. Y'all stay safe. Have a good Thanksgiving, a Merry Christmas.
Thank you so much for taking your time to do this.
You bet. Good luck to you guys.
Thank you so much.
Thank you
Yes.
so much.
Of course.
Have a good
Bye.
night.
Bye.